topics, stories, examples, and exercises, but he doesn't really talk about money. This might seem strange for a book about growing rich, but there's another one, You Too Can Be Prosperous by Robert Russell, another great author, and again, it hasn't got much to do with money at all. I hope you're getting the picture here. One of the keys to creating wealth for yourself is to understand that money is not the goal. Let me repeat that for emphasis. Money is not the goal. What these authors have come to understand is that creating wealth has very little to do with focusing on money. Really, what it has to do with is your mind, your attitude, and the way you think. It sounds so simple, but most people really just don't grasp it. Even though it's as plain as the nose in your face, think about it. When you think of living a wealthy life, what comes to mind? Is it a home on a tropical island? Your own airplane? Doing whatever you want, whenever you want? All of these, maybe more? That's my guess, and I'll bet I'm right. But did you imagine piles of cash or 7, 8, 9-digit bank accounts? I would think not. Think of it this way. Webster's dictionary defines wealth as an abundant supply. It doesn't say an abundant supply of money, does it? Money only has value because we believe it to. It's printed on paper that is actually quite worthless. So when someone says to me that they want to make a lot of money, what I hear is that they want the things money can be traded for. The cars, the islands, the planes, but most of all, they're pursuing the ultimate luxury, the freedom of time to enjoy it. So when I say that money is not the real goal, that is precisely what I mean. The goal is not simply amassing of wealth, but rather an ongoing journey of growth, both personal and financial. This can be a tough concept for many of us to grasp. After all, we've been taught our whole lives that the point of making money is to accumulate as much as we can. But that's looking at it backwards. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, money can't buy you happiness. Well, that is just about the most absurd statement I've ever heard. That's like saying you can't ride around town on a refrigerator. That statement is equally as ridiculous. Of course money can't buy you happiness. But what it can do is make you comfortable enough that you no longer need to think about it. Money consumes us if we don't have it. The price of most of our products and services is continually increasing, and I could care less. Why should I worry about something over which I have absolutely no control? But if I didn't have money, I'd sure be thinking about it. It consumes our time, our energy. It reduces our infinite mental and creative powers to a worry machine. This is why you need to break out of this cycle and stop making excuses. This is why you need to realize money is not the goal. When I think about people who have made great successes for themselves, I don't see people who chase money. I see people who understand the mind. They aren't thinking about earning money. They're focused on what they're doing, whatever it may be. This is where you have to understand that the path to wealth is a mental game you need to play with yourself. Money can't buy you happiness. That is a defensive statement we learn to make to justify to ourselves why we don't have it. In a moment of truth, you know you want to change that. This program will help show you how. Wealthy people already understand that it's not about the money. They know it's not a goal unto itself. That's why you see them using money as a commodity of exchange rather than hoarding it. So many of us have a hard time understanding this, but it's easy to see why. Our whole lives we've been programmed to think money is the end goal. It's also why, when it doesn't come easily, we become defensive and make excuses for ourselves. One of the easiest ways to show how money really works is to think of it as though it were water. A drop by itself is nothing. It's tiny, powerless. Think of it as a single dollar, if you like. Not much can be done with it. However, as the drops gather, they gain mass and momentum. They flow into small streams and then into rivers, creating a torrent of abundance. This abundance has moved mountains and carved vast canyons. It has literally shaped our entire planet, but also as